Update 5 on Major Hurricane Gonzalo, which is currently located just to the southwest of Bermuda with winds of 125 miles per hour and a pressure of 947 millibars. Its position's 31 degrees north, 65.6 degrees west as of 8 p.m. UTC October 17th. The storm is expected to continue towards the northeast, moving possibly directly over the island of Bermuda. Nonetheless, the storm will certainly be causing hurricane conditions over the island, possibly even major hurricane conditions with sustained winds of over 115 miles per hour and gusts at present possibly up to 150 miles per hour, but that's likely to decrease as the storm passes over the island. Of course, heavy rainfall also associated with this, 6 inches possible, and with the storm striking near high tide, it could possibly be a real issue with storm surge as well, which is expected to be significant. Looking at the latest radar imagery, you can see how the storm's been entering Bermuda's radar. Its scope of 200 kilometers or so, 240 kilometers, the storm's been entering. You can see its eye wall there now reaching the 160 bracket, and the storm is really approaching rather quickly and is expected to reach Bermuda, the center of the storm, in a matter of hours, probably before the end of this evening, certainly local time before the end of this evening. So looking at the sea surface temperatures, you can see how they are still fairly warm, around 26 or 27 degrees Celsius, so that's not likely to last very long, a day maximum really, until sea surface temperatures begin to tail off and the storm will gradually weaken and turn extratropical, I should imagine. Wind shear is low to moderate. There are high amounts just to its west and northwest, particularly over the United States, northeastern part of the country into Atlantic Canada. And dry air is off to the western side of the storm, not looking too healthy, the western side of Gonzalo, due to that dry air intrusion. A little bit on the east as well, but the center of the storm has remained composed and will remain so by the looks of things until beyond Bermuda. So the intensity forecast, the computer models, a gradual weakening trend is on the cards. Could still be a Category 2 hurricane tomorrow. I think that's actually pretty likely still. But it's likely to turn post-tropical as it moves past Newfoundland, possibly with hurricane force winds of over 75 miles per hour as it passes there, and then on to the North Atlantic and beyond. So wind shear is expected to rise in around 24 hours time. At the moment it's fairly level, gradual increase rather, before sharply increasing in around a day. Sea surface temperatures as well will drop off around that time too, coming into the 19th of October, but until then, gradual decrease, but it will fall below that 26 threshold, which is usually what's required for tropical storm maintenance, I suppose you could say. Relative humidity is remaining fairly moderate, around 40%. That's likely to drop a little bit in the next 12 to 24 hours before rising again, coming into the 19th. So here's the latest satellite image of the last few hours of visible imagery. You can see here how the storm's been pretty much making a beeline for the island of Bermuda. It looks like at this point, unless there is a final jog rather quickly, it could possibly be a direct hit for Bermuda. Whether it will make an actual landfall or the descent of the storm passes over the island remains to be seen, but either way it's probably a little bit irrelevant because we're looking to see heavy rainfall, very strong winds, in excess of 115 miles per hour sustained winds, and much higher than that wind gusts as well, as I said earlier. But yes, Bermuda definitely underneath the storm as it is right now. The eye wall itself, the inner eye wall, will be approaching and moving over the island in around an hour or two, I'd say. So around the world, Tropical Storm Anna is poised yet again to become a hurricane, even though it didn't do that a few days ago, but could do so now as it approaches Hawaii. Gonzalo, of course, Invest 92E could become our next storm in the Eastern Pacific, and 2 other invests out in the Eastern Hemisphere. 67 tropical storms have formed so far in 2014 worldwide. We may have a 68th soon in the Eastern Pacific. 37 of those have become Category 1 hurricanes. Again, we may see 38 very soon with Anna. And 23 of those have become Category 3 storms with winds of 115 miles per hour and higher. And we've already had our 23rd with Gonzalo. I wonder whether we'll see any more in the Northern Hemisphere before this year is out. You can visit Force 13 on any of its 6 outlets. The website, force13.com, is the main place to be for all the goings on around the world, storm-wise. Of course, the video pages will keep you regularly updated, especially when warnings are in effect. YouTube and Dailymotion, just search Force 13 on there. And of course, the social pages, Facebook and Twitter, just search Force 13 on those as well for the latest updates on the ongoing situation around the world in the tropics. You can also add me personally on Skype, just add Full13 on there for tropical weather chat, and the next update on this storm, if necessary, will follow later tonight. If not, it will be sometime tomorrow, October 18th, Saturday. That's all for now.